Welcome to PaRANTing.
Hi, everybody.
It's a podcast about kids. But kids shouldn't listen. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome back to the PaRANTing podcast, episode 34. Somehow, we're still here. Some of you are still listening. I don't know. I don't ask questions. We just show up every week, and some people listen. So we appreciate that. So welcome back. I am Katie G. here in the Tantallon, Nova Scotia. Okay, rude COVID kid. Come on. You're not wrong. And I am here with my co-host and cousin, the lovely Mark Adam, over in Winnipeg, which is also very much Winterpeg at the moment, apparently. So welcome back to the actual shit show. We appreciate you tuning in, listening, watching, whatever it is that you're doing. We appreciate you being here.
Yeah, honestly. For those watching live, welcome to the Twitch stream. We do record our shows while live because it's a lot more fun. If you feel like you want to, you can throw comments and whatnot into the chat. We do have a chat box, which I haven't loaded up or anything yet today. So it's let me grab that real quick. That would be
you
what,
can chat
this
with
one?
us.
Yeah.
There you go.
Chat box.
Hooray.
So hurrah, huzzah.
Huzzah.
And so anyway, you can fire your thoughts in there. We will try and keep our eyes on those and reply. But for those that are not live and you can always watch on the YouTube channel. So if you're there, sweet. If you're watching or listening to the audio podcast, also sweet, but you can't see how sweet my thumbs up are for you. So I'll just describe them. They are so sweet.
They're
double thumbs way up.
Double thumb. Appreciate it.
I am sick today. I woke up a couple of days ago just feeling like a bag of smashed assholes, and that was just a wonderful feeling. Mm-hmm. So that was awesome. Yeah, and it progressively has been getting worse over the last couple of days. This morning being the worst. I feel kind of okay-ish now. It's 5:00 in the afternoon my time. You know, like you kind of have that like reprieve in the afternoon before you start feeling crappy towards bedtime again. So,
yeah, because your body's like, oh, you want to go to sleep now?
Spot.
No, fuck you. We're going to feel worse.
Yeah.
But it's super great. Very much appreciate that. I don't know if you even could tell by my voice, but I still am sick. This is week 2 of the repercussions of COVID. So I'm still fighting it. Yeah.
And that's why I put, because we do this new thing now where we choose each other's title for the names when they come up
on
the
Twitch,
screen.
You'll see it come up, and also on
Twitch, or if you're watching on the video on YouTube, or if you're watching on our brand new website, PaRANTingPodcast.com.
Woo!
Yeah,
you guys have a website? What?
Yeah, I know. You can buy merch and everything.
Merch? Did you say merch? Oh my god!
Yeah, somebody's wearing their merch right now. But that's why I chose Kid COVID for you as your title, because I just thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, well,
but then you swung it back at me and called me Gray Sweats, or was it Dad Bod with Gray Sweatpants?
Yeah, because it's all the rage. All the ladies are loving it.
Well, it's I'm sure it's a fad, but it's there. If you look it up, it is a thing. I'm not making it up to make myself feel better.
I don't know if I want to Google like Dad Bod's Gray Sweatpants. I think.
Well, I only brought it up because I was just feeling really shitty about myself at the moment. And I was like, well, my only solace is that there are some people out there that are into that weirdness, which is fun.
Fair. It's fair. I love it.
Dad bods are in. Gray sweatpants are apparently a thing. So I'm two birds, one stone. So,
yeah, why not? So you're sick, like you said you're sick. Sorry, so it's not COVID, but it's like
I have just a cold, but like it's really annoying. It's all in the throat and the nose and the head.
Yeah.
So it's just a cold. I'm not nauseous. I have the whole body aches thing just because, like, you know, when you're sick, your immune system's breaking down, and you know, it just is what it is.
Yeah.
Plus, yesterday, like I said, I was out shoveling snow in the worst blizzard in decades, according to the meteorologists ahead of this storm here in Winnipeg. And also, it's overrated, I think. I mean, unless there's a whole bunch more snow to come. We had worse snowstorms this year. Forget decades. Like worst blizzard in April.
In this April, sure.
Yeah.
We can. Yeah.
We're gonna have fully covered ground of snow for Easter.
You know what? We've definitely been there. Excuse me. We've definitely been there where I was when I was doing the scavenger hunt fun things for the kids back in the day. There was one year where it was snowing, and I was like, I'm not hiding all of this stuff in my house. I want them to get the hell out of my house. So I hid stuff in the snow. I buried it in snow. Like, you're going to work for it. Also, here's a coat and some mittens, I guess. I don't care. Get out. And it's great. Yeah.
Here are the basic necessities so you don't die. Bye.
Yeah, bye. Have fun.
Yeah. Parenting done right. That's it right there. Yeah,
Did I lock the door? You can't get in? That's so weird. I don't know how that happened. That's weird.
They're just banging. Let us in. When I'm ready. I'm ready.
We'll see. I think there's another couple of eggs out there. You guys should look really hard.
Count how many eggs you have. When you have them all, you can come in.
Yeah. Exactly. I know exactly
Super
how
rude.
many are out there.
Exactly. So, speaking of Easter, since we're on the subject anyway, instead of trying to circle back, which I always forget to do, let's just go full bore. Fuck it. So
Easter weekend.
It's coming up. Are you doing the scavenger hunt, or have you absolutely? Because I know you had said before, "Fuck it, I'm done." They find everything in 5 minutes after 4 hours of prep.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, like not even 4 hours. It was like a whole fucking week of my life trying to get that shit together. Yeah. No, the kids are like 17 and almost 16. I am so over that, but I did see something.
They can hide their own fucking eggs.
They can go buy their own. They both have jobs. Get out of here. Wasting my hard-earned money on your chocolate bunny.
Fair enough.
But there, excuse me, there was a thing I saw on, obviously on the internet somewhere, but it was basically when your kids get to that age where you're not really doing the Easter thing anymore, the chocolates and all that kind of stuff. And, like, kids are always like, what do you mean I'm too old for Easter? And then it was like each of these kids, they looked like they were, you know, teenagers, probably 18, you know, 17, 18 or whatever, with a laundry basket full of like cleaning supplies and shit. They're like, happy Easter. And you're like, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm at that level where I'm like, I'm going to buy you things that are like practical. Here's some Kleenex and Windex and like, I don't know.
Blow your nose and clean your windows, damn it.
Yeah, right? Do something. I don't know. Whatever that is.
Here's a box of Scotties, a roll of Bounty.
Get to clean in. Take a hint.
All cleaning supplies. Yeah, exactly.
Lysol wipes. Listen, COVID went through this house. Just Lysol wipe everything. Everything's got like a film.
Honest to God.
Of Lysol.
Yeah. And it's funny because like the joke all my whole life has always been, oh, kids, they're just germ factories. But it turns out that adults are way worse. Let's be real. It turns out. But it's not your shitty kids, although it probably could be partially your shitty kids. But
it's a little column A,
it's not just
B.
the children getting people sick. It's adults that refuse to wash their hands during a pandemic. It's people who refuse to wear a mask because it's inconvenient. And fuck my neighbor and their respiratory disease and their immunocompromised system.
Seems like a personal problem. You know what I mean?
If God wanted them to live, he wouldn't have made them sick. Like, the fuck.
So dark.
Well, that's the argument that they had. Yeah. Like, I'm just saying. Like, I get if you're anti-vax for you, fine. If you're preaching anti-vax for everyone, go fuck yourself.
Yeah,
go fuck yourself.
Crawl it back in your little hole.
It is your choice to not get vaxxed. Absolutely. Go ahead. Yeah. We're not going to go down that rabbit hole of political bullshit.
What are you doing anything for Easter? Like, are you planning.
Yeah, I'm eating a lot of fucking chocolate the day after.
Love it. Love it. I also love your mug, by the way. Anyone who's not watching the video or watching live, Mark Adam has a lovely mug, which I think he said is Katie's. So it just says current mood and then just in giant letters, nope. So I very much, mine's just a wine glass with a seltzer in it. So it's nothing exciting, but I do like it.
I had 2 hot drinks on the go earlier, and this one is all sweet. This mug says, "Welcome to our home." And
oh my God. That's not funny.
But that's, I drank Emergency, the vitamin C beverage. Mm-hmm. I made one of those this morning. That was the first thing I drank, and now I'm on to, I think I'm into.
Good call.
Yeah, maybe I'm into the 2nd liter of this. I don't know.
It's a lot of tea.
It's 1.9 liters. No big deal.
NBD.
NBD. Do we need an abbreviation for absolutely everything? OMG.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yes, we do. Easter, what are you doing? What's happening?
No, I don't know.
Aside from eating chocolate.
I kind of, well, here's the thing is school was canceled yesterday and today.
Oh, right, because of snow.
Because the storm was supposed to be super, super bad, which it fucking wasn't, but whatever. Mm-hmm. The roads are not nice to drive on, but it's no worse than any other time this winter. It's still Winnipeg. The roads still suck. There's big chunks missing in lots of them because that's just what happens when it gets so cold and hot and cold and hot and whatever. True. It just is what it is that way. But the big thing I wanted to do for Easter was I wanted to do a scavenger hunt for the girls, but now I'm all sick and I just don't have the motivation. And the girls have been home for the last 2 days, and they're going to be home again tomorrow because it's Good Friday. And
right. They have Monday
Amelia's
off as well?
Amelia does. She goes to a Catholic school.
Okay.
So she has Monday off, but I don't think Jamie does because she goes to the public school across the street.
Okay. Yeah.
So, I'm not. These are things I should know.
Do they school Monday? I don't know. We'll figure it out when we come to Monday.
Yeah, exactly. But it's. Yeah, it is what it is. But I honestly at this point don't know what our plans are, and it sounds bad because it sounds like I'm just this disengaged dad. But like maybe my partner Katie plans something. Like I have no idea. Like I just don't know. And I'm waiting to be told what to do. Like that's kind of.
I think that's. I was
gonna do stuff, but now I'm just not motivated.
Yeah, I think that's kind of maybe normal-ish. Like I remember, like when I was doing the scavenger hunt, Easter egg hunt things or whatever, it would be like I would be doing all of the prep work, and then like I would make Rod help me like hide things in places. But it was kind of like more of my show. But that's also because I'm a control freak, and I'm like, no, I'm doing it. So it's like not that he wouldn't help; it was the fact that I wouldn't let him help because he would do it wrong in my eyes. I'd be like, no, I'm doing it.
There's a lot of I want to help going on, but there's also I'm going to get out of your way.
Yeah.
Like there's
yeah. Totally.
And I don't want to make it sound like it's this like because that's the girl's job and I do the man's job and
no, that's not what I was saying at all. It's like kind of more of a I don't know. It's just how I am. Like it's a like.
But I mean, okay. Even the statement I just made, as I heard it, it just sounded wrong because I said girl's job, but then I said man's job. So instead of woman, I said girl. Yeah. But even that, because when you say woman now, or like especially to a woman, it just sounds like woman, like it just sounds like an insult.
Oh,
which
well, Rod says that to me all the time. It's sort of like, "Hey, woman," like it's in a joking way, obviously, because if it was serious, it would be like a throat punch immediately. But like, woman.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
Well, that didn't help.
That didn't help your throat. I'm shocked.
Yeah,
I'm shocked. Anyway, it's kind of like one of those things. I think that usually one of the people in the relationship or whatever kind of take the lead, whether they want to or not. I think it's just like, if I want this to get done, I got to do this. So you're either like the doer or you're the helper. I think, in some of those situations. So, maybe this year you're just, you're the help. You're going to help out.
There's just so many times that things in this house happen and they're done and they're over, and then I hear about them and I'm like, where was I?
You were recording a goddamn podcast in your basement, for fuck's sake.
Oh, yeah. Or I was working, or I was literally sitting right next to them as they were doing the thing, but I was not paying attention because I was napping or, eating food or watching TV or something. There's like,
that's fair.
There's 3 girls in this house, and I just feel very outnumbered and overwhelmed. And I can only imagine how Rod feels with those girls being so much older and more capable of pulling shit, and the rest of it. Like Rod and other fathers who are in that same situation, dad. What is it? Girl dads. Dads. I feel you. I am here.
Way to survive.
I'm not going to pretend like I speak for all of us, but I'm going to say my experience has been, it's hard. It's listen, worth it, super rewarding. Girls give you love in a way that little boys just don't. Like they're very outward with their love, and they like make you arts and crafts and then bring them to you. So yesterday I was literally wearing a necklace that my 9-year-old made that out of like string, and she was doing like, she has this big bag of like art supplies, and yet she grabbed a Kleenex box that was empty and cut out the dog, like, because we buy Scotties. So she cut out a picture of the dog, like the actual Scotty dog.
Yeah.
And that was the pendant, was the dog. So I'm wearing a Kleenex box necklace.
That's adorable.
But it was adorable. And like, I feel like boys don't do that. Boys are busy tearing things apart to see how they work.
I feel like that's definitely, obviously it's situational, but definitely I find young little boys have a lot more energy and a lot more destructive energy. Not to say that's like very generalizing.
Kinetic. It's more kinetic. Like they're more mechanical, pull things apart, see how it works, build something. And girls are and this is generalized, obviously, and some people parent in a way that they almost force the kids to have a balance that way. But like my kids love Ninja Turtles and anime shows where people are doing karate and stuff. They love that stuff. So it's not like they're not involved, but they're also less likely to tear apart my watch to find out why it makes that ticking sound.
That's fair.
Whereas like little boys are just like, I need to know, and so a part it comes, and I'm like, why it doesn't tick? It's fully digital. Like, what's wrong with you?
You know what? I really do, in a way, like I miss the shitty arts and crafts that we used to get, because we definitely, obviously, with the kids being, teenagers, the oldest is graduating high school this year somehow, which is wild. But like, you don't get those things anymore, obviously. But I remember when the girls were younger, it would be any occasion, any holiday, whatever, they were making shit and bringing it home. And you're like, cool, thanks. I'm just going to throw this out when you're not looking. For some, there's a lot of things that we definitely saved. There was just all those other shitty things. But one of the things that I actually still have to this day was when the girls were younger. And I think it was Allie, the oldest. It was something that they were doing in their class, but it was called this Promise Keepers Club that they had. And it was like getting your parents to commit to not texting while driving. And so you sign up and, you get one of your parents to sign up and you commit to not texting while you drive. You get a little sticker that goes in your window. And then you also got like a little charm bracelet thingy. It was like a string or yarn or something with a little bead on it. And it's like Promise Keepers Club. So I was the one that vowed to not text while driving because I don't do that anyway. So I was like, I can do that. That's easy. Excuse me. Same. But the funny thing is, excuse me, the little bracelet thing that they gave you, excuse me, was I have it tied around my steering wheel. So I've got it like tied around there, and it's been there ever since. Like it's always stayed there. But
so it's like a constant reminder.
Yeah, but it's kind of cool because it's like, oh, that came from the kids, and they were like really little, and it's kind of something that I've kept to this day, like in my car still. The sticker's long gone now because they wear off and you have to get rid of it. But yeah, I still have it on there. So I'm like, I kind of miss some of those things. And Jillian, the youngest, she's very artistic. She's an incredible drawer. She's, very, very good with words and creating stories and very imaginative. And so she's got a lot of really cool stuff to look back on. I think every book or piece of paper that she could find when she was younger has doodles on it. I find them all over the place. I'll be digging through a drawer, cleaning it out because everyone has those inevitable junk drawers. We seem to have 2 of them, but there's always stuff like that in there. And I'm like, this is garbage, but I'll keep it in there anyway. So I'm like, I don't know. There's just those little things that you kind of miss as they get older.
Yeah, I get that. That's, but I mean, yeah, I just, there's a certain kind of affection you get. And the level of, I'm not trying to say that girls love you more than boys do. That's not what I'm saying. So please don't get it twisted. What I'm saying is girls often show their love more often and in more obvious ways. Does that make sense? I feel like I loved my mom the same amount as my sister loved my mom. But we went about letting her know that in a very different way.
Right? I think everyone, whether boy or girl or not, or whatever, it doesn't, I think it's just dependent on the person. I'm a female and I was a young girl once and growing up.
Since when?
I know. Breaking news, stop the presses. So
I mean, you wouldn't know this week with your voice that way, but
I know.
I'm kidding. That's a joke.
It's fair. It's a little groggy for sure.
Kid COVID over here. KDG, Kid COVID.
Kid COVID. That's me. But when I was younger.
Oh, no, that's a C. Never mind.
Oh. Yeah, true.
I was worried about the KKK thing, but it's KKC.
Oh my God. You would go there. Anyway.
I was just making sure we're not, I don't ever want to be
no one
I bet they did that on purpose,
Nobody was thinking that.
It's the internet. Somebody out there is thinking it.
Yeah, well, what I was going to say is that when I was younger, it was either was myself and my sister. I didn't have, I have a stepbrother. But when I was younger, we weren't a very lovey family. And I don't mean that we didn't love each other. We just weren't outwardly expressive about it. Even as girls and women, we're not huggy. We're not I love you. It was weird. It shouldn't be weird, but it was.
Laura is a little bit, but that's a different story. Oh,
see, it's totally different now because I got older and I was like, why were we like that? Why are you guys so fucking awkward? We're family. And I broke that down. I'm always hanging off my mom when I go see her. And I'm like, Mom, I love you. She's like, get away from me. But we're not like that anymore. But growing up, that's what it was like for sure. And I was like, wait, you guys hug your family? That's weird. Why are you doing that?
I used to hug my mom once a year. On her birthday.
It was an occasion, her birthday or something.
Once a year on her birthday. Not literally that, but
no, I know.
Very, very seldom.
Yeah, that was normal for me growing up.
So is that an us thing?
I don't know.
How many people out there are hugging their parents every day?
Who the fuck hugs their kids? What do you mean?
Particularly the teenage years, leading up to the teenage years. Yeah, I hug my kids every chance I get. Mm-hmm. Every chance I get, I'm like, can I have a hug? Adults need hugs too, and they're like, okay, and they come over and they're hug me and stuff. Sometimes they're like, I guess you can have a hug, and other times they're just like, you can have a hug. Sometimes, especially when you recognize they need a hug, and you make it seem like you need a hug, so they don't feel bad about needing a hug.
Yeah, no, I get that. I think it's important to have. It's not. When the kids were younger, for sure. We were definitely, there was always hugs and hanging off each other, and that was definitely a normal everyday thing here. But now that they're older, they're like, can you please get out of my room? And I'm like, I just came in to get the dirty dishes. Thank you. Yeah. And that towel that's been sitting on the floor and probably has mold on it. I just needed to come in and grab those. I'll leave you be.
Yeah, exactly. So quickly, I want to point out that we have social medias.
We do have those.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, the Twitch that you are currently watching, if you are watching live.
Yes.
Yeah, so Twitch and Facebook are the same. It's /PaRANTing. Twitter is @PaRANTingPod. Instagram is @PaRANTingPodcast. And then the YouTube is, well, just Google it, or search it when you get there.
Subscribe,
kind of thing.
Please. We don't want to say that anymore. Go subscribe.
Subscribe.
Subscribe,
But
please.
also, the big thing. The big thing. And I'm going to push this button over here.
Dun, 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 dun,
Our
dun,
new
dun.
website, PaRANTingPodcast.com.
Yes, bitch. I'm here for it.
When you go there, I think this is what it looks like.
There you go. If you're on the video, check it out, /live. And if you're on the audio, go check it out.
Right?
PaRANTingPodcast.com. Go check it out. We've got merch on there. We're like open for any suggestions. If there's stuff there that you don't see and want to see, let us know. It's Adam worked very hard on getting that together, and it looks sick.
I think it looks pretty good. I mean,
I think it looks pretty sick. If I do say so myself.
It's not like I built it from the ground up or anything, but I almost should have at a certain point because of all the tech support problems I was having with it. And I'm not going to go into it, but it was a lot of work. So please go check it out. And, if you want to grab some merch, do it up. And I will say too, is that I've got some merch coming, being shipped to me, AKA mugs. Which you didn't get an email about yet? I haven't gotten yet. Well, we'll talk about that off air. Figure that out. Okay. But I do have them coming, and so we're gonna. And once I get those, we will have a giveaway for some merch. So look forward to that. Perhaps. My mom and my sister were already calling dibs on stuff, and I'm like, oh my god, I don't even have them yet. I don't even have them. But my sister Laura, she listens to this. She does with my mom too. I think she's listened a couple times with mom as well. So Laura, if you're listening, hello, I love you. You're great. Thank you for being our #1 fan. So. Hi Laura. I miss you. I think it's been years since I've seen Laura. It's been forever. It's been far too long. So anyway, I just wanted to give a shout out because she is always so supportive of our podcast. She was so excited. She was the one that was hounding me all the time when we kind of had that little lull. You mean that 14 months we disappeared? Tiny little blip of history that we just didn't do the podcast. She was asking me every time I went up, when are you and Adam going to do the podcast again? So I'm like, girl, I don't know. Whenever we get our lives together. So never? Question mark? Never? Yeah, that's... yeah. Ugh. So anyway, we're back doing it, and we appreciate the support from you guys, and also from Laura. She is the #1 fan, as maybe self-proclaimed, but I don't know. But she's pretty excited for a mug. I'm going to make her pay for it for sure. I'm not giving it to her. What is this, charity? I don't think so. Yeah, family? I don't think so. L. Totally L. Totally ill. Anyway, very excited. Go check out the website, if you're into that sort of thing. Please and thank you. Yes. What was the other thing? I created a link in bio page. So it's literally linkinbio.parentingpodcast.com. And all of the things that we say, like link in bio, those links will appear there. Mm-hmm. You can go check it out. Go check it out. Why not? Do it. So things are bad over in Russia and the Ukraine. So why don't we just steer clear of that whole subject? Yeah. I want to acknowledge that it is excuse me, a very terrible thing happening over there. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I'm not going to speak for Katie, but I very much follow the whole stand with Ukraine. Mm-hmm. So. There's a lot of great resources out there too to help to donate and all that stuff as well. So they're also kind of embarrassing Russia right now. They're kicking their ass, and Russia's supposed to be this global superpower. So aside from nuking them, which is totally not outside the realm of possibility at this point, the Ukrainians are kicking their ass. So keep it up, Kiev. keep it going.
Do it up.
And now to something slightly lighter. The Family Wordle competition continues between the KDG and the Mark Adams. And I'll let you report it because that just sounds like I'm bragging then.
Mark Adams sucks. He doesn't get any of them right ever. I am kicking his ass, and I want my $100. That's the update.
I didn't do mine today. Should I do it now?
Yeah, do it now. I already did mine. You know what? It didn't take me very long to do. So anyway, but I will say while you're doing that, I will say that, I still, the last couple episodes, I'm like, I need to look into when we started and when we stopped, blah, blah, blah. I think this is the 4th week. So this is like the month. But I mean, you for sure, unfortunately for me, have definitely won. Like there's been way too many times where I got to like 5 or 6 tries in order to get the word. So I will concede. I will say that. I will also say this.
Ooh.
There you go.
Yeah, I love that sound.
Such a good sound, isn't it? That's a great sound. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, I have been doing it every day. I've gotten it I get it every time. Like I haven't missed one yet, but I am very much of an overthinker and I like overanalyzer sometimes. And I'm like trying to like somehow trick the system. And I'm like, can you just fucking type in a word?
I can't do this and pay attention to you at the same time. So I'm going to put that down for a minute. I thought it would be very fun to like do it on.
Well, you didn't have to pay attention to me. I'll just yammer on and people can just be annoyed with me while you try and do it.
The whole point of doing this podcast for me is that I get to talk to you. So I can show you up later. Like, it's
okay.
fine.
All right. Anyway, yes. I will concede that you're definitely going to win for sure. Our however long competition, I don't know.
With random unnamed consequences / rewards.
Yeah, bragging rights, I guess. At this point,
that's basically where we're at. Yeah.
Cheers to that.
Next time we do a competition, we'll have to like set boundaries and what is like reward,
an actual
consequence,
competition.
whatever.
Yeah, for sure. Something on the line.
Yeah, but we'll do something where I'm not going to just wipe the floor with you from the beginning.
Oh my God, you're exhausting. Anyway, that was our show. Thanks for listening. I gotta go. We actually aren't going to do the podcast anymore, so don't bother checking out any of our socials.
Yeah, I put that website together just in time for the end.
Just for me to be like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So anyway, yeah. I did have a rant that I wanted to go. Can I move on? Because I did have something I wanted to rant about today.
Absolutely. So, the floor is yours.
Why is it that people / kids in my house can't seem to put things back where they go? And then when they do put things back, sometimes on the rare occasions, they are empty or almost empty. For example, a granola box with granola bars in it has gone back into the cupboard completely empty. The Brita Filter, we have like one of those water Brita filters that you fill up with water and it filters down into the thing and you throw it in the fridge and it's great. You have like filtered water at your disposal. But for whatever reason, like I went to go pull it out the other day and there was like not even enough for a cup of water. Like it was completely like empty. I'm like, so now I have to like fill this fucking thing up and sit here and wait for it to like filter through. Maybe I'm just impatient, but why can't they refill things? Like, why is it such a big deal? Like, I get so mad and I'll say something and be like, hey, can you just like add some more water into that? Like when you take a thing of water, just go fill it up and then put it back in the fridge. Like it's not that hard. Or, I just don't get it. I don't understand it. And it drives me absolutely insane. And it happens every week the kids are here. It's always something like, we do the whole recycling thing here. So we have a blue bin for plastics. We have a blue bin thing for cardboard stuff, not the corrugated, the regular fucking whatever cardboard. And then we actually have corrugated cardboard. So like we have things and we've had them for years. They like I always have a bag on the go for those things. And every time it's like the kids either shove it in the side of something or like they won't break it down. They just sit it on the counter. I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't know if it's laziness or just, I don't care because Katie will do it. I'll just leave it here and she'll just do it angrily. So I don't know. Anyway, it drives me absolutely insane. I don't understand. I don't know if you're watching live, you would have just saw Rod and his friend Donnie walk behind it.
I was gonna ask. I was like, are those people supposed to be in your yard?
Yeah, I do know those people. Yeah, I'm not under duress. I don't need help. Not that you can help me from Winnipeg, but yes. I just saw them walk by and I was like, oh.
Yeah, the code word is sea cucumber. Sorry,
right.
That's a Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty thing.
Sea cucumber. Anyway, so.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you. Anyway, that's like my rant. I don't understand it. I don't know if you have that problem with the girls like at their age yet, like if you have that issue, but
that isn't an issue yet. Their big thing that drives me fucking mental is like today I went up, Jamie's like, can I make myself lunch today? Because she loves cooking, she loves making stuff. And I was like, sure, no problem. I'm going to make peanut butter toast. I'm like, okay, very inventive. Which is fine.
Love it.
But she goes and does it. And then as soon as I go upstairs, like she's sitting on the chair watching TV and I'm looking at the table and there's like open thing of bread, the peanut butter's out, open, and like just everything is just out. Yep. And open, wide open. And why? Why is that a fucking thing? Put it the fuck away. Put it away. Why is that hard?
I don't know. It's the same here. Like it's like unreal. Like I swear to God, because in this house I am. Oh, here goes the people. Oh, say hello.
They're trying to be famous.
Sorry.
You got this. It's like those people at the studio when you're like Much Music that are like banging on the window with their signs.
Yes, for sure. We are definitely at that level. There's no question.
I heart KDG.
There was a sign. I don't know if you saw it. There definitely was a I heart KDG sign out there. You may not have seen it, but it was definitely there. I swear.
Yeah, and you totally didn't make it.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, I did not do that.
If Rod has a sign out there that says your name on it, you made it. There's no way
I did
you're
not
going to convince me that he went out there and made art.
Anyway,
like if it's like soldered into a piece of wood, maybe. But
yeah, maybe. It's just etched with like a kitchen knife.
Just out there with a hunting knife being like, I'm making art. Yeah.
I'm crafty. Anyway. Yeah. So, well, I mean, if you're watching the video, you would have said hello to Rod and Donnie, our friend Donnie. He's here hanging out. So, anyway, I think they're gone now. But anyway, hello to them. But yes, I will say that the leaving things out. Well, I think what I was going to say before that was that I swear that the girls probably, like most of the time, I feel like they won't make themselves something to eat because my expectation is that they clean up after themselves. And so it's a thing where I know that we have to have things in the house that are very easily cooked, whether it's microwavable, whatever it is, because otherwise it's like they won't eat. So
now I'm guilty of the same thing, but out of like, I only have this much time and I'm not going to waste it cooking. Like, you know what I mean? So that's, I'm guilty of like of having, like I need things to be microwavable and da-da-da.
Oh, but I agree with that for sure.
I clean up those things.
Right. I guess that's my point. I feel like I have to have those things in the house because there could be other things to make, but they would have to clean up after themselves. So that's just a no-go. That's not going to happen. It's like, I have to wipe the counter off. Ugh, absolutely not. There's always shit all over the counter. Like they could make toast. Everything bagels are the worst. Those fucking seeds are everywhere. They're like instead of cutting the.
Stop buying them everything bagels. Well, you eat plain bagels from now on, bitches.
From now on, that's it. But like when they cut the bagel, instead of like me in my brain, I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this over the sink, so it's not all over the counter or floor. That doesn't apply. The kid's brain, they're just like, I'm just going to cut this in the middle of the fucking floor, and it's just everywhere. I don't know. I don't get it. There's just like no. I think it's because they don't do the cleaning, so they don't think of that as like, oh, I'm going to have to clean this up later. It's just, I don't know. It is what it is.
But also, I want to point out, because again, you've pointed out a couple of times that you are a bit of a control freak.
Yes. I will admit that. Definitely.
So my favorite part of your whole rant there was when you stopped to explain what a Brita filter was. like people had never heard of it before or wouldn't know what it was. I loved that moment of just like, we have this like Brita filter, it's like a thing, you put water in it and the water filters down and you like get fresh water. Like,
but I don't
people
know if
don't know what a Brita
knows,
filter
like,
is.
I got one for my dad not that long ago. I got it for him. He didn't know he's like, I didn't know that was a thing. And I'm like,
if you are listening to this podcast, I would like you to tweet us or message us on Instagram or something. Mm-hmm. And I want you to, but only, just message us. If this is the first time you've ever heard of a Brita filter and Katie just taught you something new, I have to know. I have to know. Please message us.
It could just be like my family thing. Like maybe my dad is just... It was my dad didn't know. That's why it came into my brain.
Your dad didn't know what a Brita filter was?
No. I think he probably knew what Brita filter, but I bought him a thing and he didn't know that you could just buy these for your fridge because he would buy like so much bottled water. And I'm like, why don't you just get a Brita filter? Like, why wouldn't you just get one of the things that just goes in your fridge and you just change the filter every couple of months? Like, why would you buy 800 bottles of water all the time, right? And so he just never thought of it, I guess. I don't know. I gave it to him for a gift for Christmas. He was like, this is so awesome. I'm like, I don't know, dude. Maybe it's just my dad. Sorry, Dad, called you out. My bad.
Listen here. I need Uncle Tim.
Oh, no.
What the fuck, buddy? You guys that's... What? I don't understand.
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Je ne comprends pas.
He'll be like so mad at me and he'll probably be like, I knew what that was and whatever. I don't know. It's just funny because I've never like given that as a gift before because I didn't think that was probably a good gift to somebody. But for someone like my dad or anyone who buys bottled water, I'm like, this is just kind of like my nanny still buys just bottled water. And I'm like, why wouldn't I said the same thing to her, but that's just she's too old school.
Nanny?
She's very much set in her ways and is not interested in changing those. So
is that also my nanny?
No, not that nanny. My mom's mom.
The other nanny.
The other nanny.
So that's the thing about having cousins, and they're like,
which nanny?
My grandma did this, and I'm like, what? You're like, oh, not my grandma, the other side.
I forget you have the other side of the family.
Yeah.
Well, see, I call our nanny, like you call nanny, I call her granny. So she's my Grammy. My mom's mom is my nanny. I have to differentiate it somehow.
To me and Amanda, and to the other cousin, Jacqueline.
To Jacqueline as well, yeah.
Right, because like, for those, just a reminder for those, it's my mom, Katie's dad, and Jacqueline's dad. That are siblings that make us cousins. Mm-hmm. So we're all the same side of the family there.
Family tree.
But yeah, so yeah. I mean, and listen, I love my mom, and there's a lot of things that confuse her that shouldn't, and I get that. But knowing what a Brita filter is like, there's been one in our refrigerator in my house since I was like 6, like.
I mean, that's also fair. Like, I don't know. Anyway.
Because you can get those ones that are like the handheld, I'm going to pour it, but you can also get the big ones that we had, which like goes in the refrigerator and it has a little like handle. So you open the fridge and you take your glass to the fridge and
yeah.
Like it's like having a keg in your fridge, but it gives you it gives you Bud Light basically.
I'd prefer it to actually give me alcohol rather than water, to be fair. But
yeah.
Now the kids are at the age now where they will actually drink alcohol, so that's like a whole other thing. They will definitely get into our alcohol if it was readily available.
Well, yeah, because they're getting to that age, eh?
Oh yeah, like they definitely are. I know that we're kind of coming up on time now already, but like it's another thing that I think we can talk about is like, when are you okay with purchasing alcohol for your teenagers? Because it's going to happen. And
let's talk about that next week.
Yeah.
Because I want to actually get into that. And like you said, we don't have
some people have
enough
very
time
strong
to like
opinions on
flesh it out. And we should put the question out this week.
Okay.
Via socials and get some responses back so that we can read them on the podcast.
Yeah, I'm down.
Next week.
We can argue about it next week. Talk about it next week.
When are you okay with purchasing alcohol for your children?
Yeah.
And the other question is, when do you think that your children started stealing alcohol from you, if that's a thing? Because I didn't do that. I never. It's so funny because like my dad was super strict, and if I had asked for beer, he never would have given it to me.
Yeah, see, we're the opposite. Like, I think, like, yeah, we can also get into this next week too, but it's like I would rather be the one getting it for them than them going through some sketchy friend's brother, older brother or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? I'd rather know about it. I'd rather know.
And remember that I lived with Doug and Bev and Jacqueline for a short period of time. So remember that was a thing. So, anyway, when we can get into that too with whole, like, you know, getting kicked out of your house or not or whatever. Anyway, it's a whole...
Oh, you have a whole story.
We have a whole thing to talk about next week. But for now, why don't we drop into top tweets? Let's do top tweets.
Okay, hang on.
and for the record, she sent them in through ClickUp, and they have these little teeny tiny thumbnails that you can't actually read, and which was perfect because I just clicked on it and hit download and didn't read it, and then I just drag and dropped it.
Some of them are actually kind of lengthy too, so you wouldn't have even, like, it's not like they're, you know, easily like, oh, that's funny. Like, you'd actually have to read it. So I'm going to try and read them without, you know, messing it up, which is questionable.
All right, so top tweet number 1.
Numero
Let's go.
uno. So this one I found just because I just related to it this week. So the last couple of weeks. So it's from @MikeMitchNH. Excuse me. It says, if you want to know how the week is going, I just took a pillowcase out of the dryer, put it over my head thinking it was a t-shirt to wear to bed, spent 15 seconds inside searching for the neck hole, and then mumbled, what is this, pants?
That's amazing.
That's the vibe over the last couple of weeks is like, the fuck is this? Pants? Like, what am I in?
Like, that hasn't happened to me, but I feel like only by chance, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
I have reached in and grabbed a shirt and had it halfway over my head and realized the hole's too small. And I'm like, oh shit. It's the girlfriend's shirt. So
there's also that.
It just won't go on my head. So that's 100% been a thing. But I haven't grabbed a pillowcase or like linens and thought like, why won't this shirt go on?
Yeah, that's how you know you're kind of having like a bad week. You know, when that happens, that's just funny. That's also probably a person who washes all of their shit together. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way that
Who's that fucking organized? Get out of here.
Like, you just wash everything together, including bedding. Like, to me, like, at least, I know we've said that before, but like, I don't separate my colors or anything like that when I do laundry. But I do wash like my clothes separately from bedding and also towels. Like, so I do that. So like, I can't, unless there was like, whatever, I'm sure a rogue pillowcase could get in there somehow, but I just thought that was really funny because it's just very fitting for the last couple of weeks. It's like, I just can't even dress myself. That's just kind of the vibes for the last couple of weeks. So I loved
what are
it.
These pants? Love it.
So
love
good.
it.
It's so good.
I love that had nothing to do with parenting, but it had everything to do with parenting for me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, that's how I feel about parenting. Like, I'm doing a thing and I'm like, I have no fucking idea what I'm even doing.
Yep.
And I think you're doing one thing, but you're actually doing something else. That's exactly how that guy was, but it was just clothes instead of kids.
Just trying to put on a fucking shirt and it's a pillowcase.
Just trying to get through the fucking days some days.
Yeah. Yeah. It passed the vibe check for sure. I liked it.
Oh yeah, 100%. Passed the vibe check. Oh, listen to you, kiddo.
I'm hip with all the lingo and the cool kids.
Well, you got teenagers, right? They're teaching you.
I know.
That's cheating. My kids have no fucking idea what the kids are saying because they're not old enough yet.
Yeah, but see, like, they'll teach me things that are like from 3 years ago, and I'll start saying them, and they're like, "Please stop saying that." And I'm like, "No, now that you hate it, I'm going to say it all the time. So you don't give me that ammo. Yeah. That's what's going to happen." For sure.
Do kids say cool anymore?
Say groovy. What do you guys say?
How about radical? Radical? Is that back?
It's the best. Just kind of using it against them. That's the best part.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Next. Top tweet number 2.
Top tweet number 2. This one's from at Exploding Unicorn. It's
Nice.
Exploding Unicorn. I love it. So,
Yes, I have read tweets from this person before. They are very funny.
Perfect. Okay, this was like the first one I saw from them. So I'm at the point in my life where using physical money is a weird and unpleasant experience. My daughter needs exactly $7 in cash for a school field trip, and I'm absolutely overwhelmed by the number of steps I'll have to go through in order to get 5 and 2 ones. Obviously American, but like to make a Canadian a 5
Same
and a
thing.
toonie, it's like, because even like you can't get a toonie out of a banking machine. You know what I mean? Like you just have to have that shit, or go break a bill at a store, or go to the teller at a bank. Like what? Like it's so much work getting cash out. Like you just give them $10 at that point. Just give them $10 and just keep the change. I don't even care.
Let's be real though. Can you not send your kid with a 10 or a 20? Because if they're asking for exact change from everyone, at least half of those kids are bringing exact change.
Oh, I'm sure you definitely could.
There's enough change out there that you can get your fucking change back.
Yeah.
Without having to go to the bank, break a 20 by going to like 7-Eleven and buying a pack of gum. You know what I mean? Like,
no, I for sure get, I think it's like that's anytime we've ever had to send money, it's always been a 10 or a 20, whatever it is, because it's like I am not going through all that extra effort. It's enough effort just to have a 10 or a 20 on you. So, which is, you know what I mean? Like, I do get that, because sometimes you're like, I'll scrounge through my bag to see if I somehow have like a toonie or a loony somewhere in there to like go with it, just so I don't have to send that. But anyway, I just felt that, because I'm like, yeah, it is a lot of work, because we just use our cards. Like you use tap
so
for
funny.
everything, or Apple Pay from your phone. Like it's crazy.
I used to drink a lot. Okay. And well, listen, since the pandemic's hit, I do a lot more edibles and less drinking. But anyway, that's
fair.
neither here nor there. But I used to be at the bar a lot. I used to work at the bar. I used to drink at the bar. I used to eat at the bar. Like I lived at the bar. And so I always had shit ton of coins in my pocket. And Amelia, I used to just give her the coins and she would put it in her bucket.
Okay.
And now I have the 2 kids and we still have the bucket, but like nothing new goes into
no
it.
money. Sorry.
No, like it's just this bucket of change that's like a stagnant level, because like I don't work at the bar anymore. And I like, since the pandemic hit, I've basically been locked in the house.
Right.
So like physical money
Like,
is
and
not
I'm broke,
a fucking
so like, well, I don't know
thing.
I don't have spare change for
I
you.
mean, it really helps to be broke.
Yeah.
It really does. If you have a fear of using physical money, being broke is the best solution. But
you don't got it.
the point is, I like these kids are just like, oh, do you have any coins in your pocket today? Because whenever I had coins in my pocket, they would go in the bucket. But now there's no coins.
There's no coin for the bucket.
But there's still a bucket. But
Because on the off chance that you have coins, you just never know.
well, what I started doing is moving money over from my account to separate accounts for them. So
Yeah.
I started week 1 this year, and week 1 you put $1. Week 2 you put $2.
Yeah.
Week 3 you put $3. So I've been doing that, and we're at week 13 right now. So
Right. That's kind of a cool idea, though.
yeah. Well, by the end of the year, they're going to have like $2,000 each.
Damn. Can you do one for me too? Or
No.
just that like nope. Actually, I guess just I'll just read your cup. Nope.
Current mood. Go fuck yourself.
Nope. All right, last one. Last top tweet.
All right.
This one,
Yeah.
I think I've used hers before, but I follow her and she's super funny. So it's at Sarcastic Mommy. Actually, well, her.
Oh, you have certainly, I think, Sarcastic Mama or something.
Well, Sarcastic Mommy, but she's Sarcastic at Sarcastic Mommy 4 on whatever. It could have changed, because I think this might be older. I don't ever just get like, they're not like this week's worth of top tweets. It's just something that showed up and I was like, that's funny. So they're not always like, timely. But anyway, I have definitely shared from her, because she shares a shit ton, and also most of them are hilarious and I like all of them. So anyway, so from our Miss Sarcastic Mommy, it just says, at what age do kids stop putting empty cereal boxes back in the cupboard? It's not 19.
And you went on a full rant about that today.
Yeah, because it's like, when do you stop doing that? Maybe when they move out, that's when they stop doing it. That's probably what it is. As soon as they move out, they don't do it anymore. At my house.
At your house, yeah.
Yeah, at your own house, I don't give a shit.
But even then, it takes a while to learn. I had the same problem. when I was
Like living on your own?
moved out. Well, when I first I was kicked out and and then Nanny. I lived with Nanny for a bit, and
remember.
then for a while I lived with some friends, and then for a while I lived with. Oh, God, it's a whole thing, but it was a whole thing.
Story.
But it's lengthy. It's lengthy. It's a whole.
And I want to hear it someday because I never got the details. I just knew from family, like, oh, Adam's living here now. I'm like, that's weird, but okay.
Yeah. So, listen, living with Nanny was an experience, and
I'm sure.
I still love her to this day. So it wasn't completely negative.
Wasn't all terrible. That's fair. But did you leave empty boxes of shit when you moved out on your own? Is that a thing?
No, that leaving boxes of food and stuff out was never a problem. Mm-hmm. It was leaving, if I was watching TV or if I was doing something, I would just walk away from the TV and the TV would be on, or shit like that. I just inconsiderate, stupid shit. But it just doesn't end because you move out. It just ends for your parents because you don't do it there.
Exactly. You're not doing it in my house, so I don't care anymore.
Yeah, at that point, it's a write-off. So
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Oh, good times. You're like, I'm going to go cry later.
Well, we as sick as we are, mm-hmm. we have struggled our way through this episode and made it to the end.
Made it. We've
made it.
Killing it, for sure.
Take us out.
I'll take you out. Anyway, thank you for listening. Episode 34. If you made it all this way, thank you. We appreciate it. Check us out on all of our socials. We got the Facebook, which is just Facebook/parenting, Twitter @parentingpod, Instagram parentingpodcast, because they're all different. We know this. And our YouTube, please go check it out. If you do go check it out and watch the video, just hit subscribe. And then once we get to, I think it's only 100 subscribers, and then we can just say YouTube/parenting or podcast or whatever the hell it's going to be. I don't know. But just so we have to stop saying, just Google it. So just go find us on there and go subscribe and watch our stupid faces.
The easiest way is to go to our new website, parentingpodcast.com.
Over here.
All of the social links are there. Mm-hmm. All of them.
Everything. So go there. And if you're there, check out some merch. I don't know. Maybe buy some for a number one fan in your house. Nudge, nudge. A little mug. Even though I'm using a wine glass, I do have a mug also. I went and purchased our own merch shamelessly. So go check it out. Adam put a lot of work into the website, and it looks awesome. So go check us out there, and then follow us on our socials and all that good stuff. So I will be posting stuff this week about kind of the stuff that we chatted about for our next week's episode. So I'm excited.
I am excited. And then when we're off here, I'm going to do the rest of my Wordle and...
yes, so you can focus.
Yeah, because it wasn't I don't think I could have done this, but I would not have been able to follow the conversation. Mm-hmm. And that being on a podcast that you're not listening to, why would people listen if you're not even listening and you're on the podcast? I just feel... There's a disconnect there. Yeah. So I will do my Wordle. We'll call today the last day.
Sure. Last day.
And we'll have a new competition.
We'll do something later. I don't know. Whatever. Thanks for listening /watching /whatever. I don't know. Thanks for being here. We actually really genuinely appreciate it. I don't know why people listen or watch, but I genuinely appreciate it because I enjoy the shit out of doing this. So thank you.
And I put a thing on the website too. It's at a certain, there's a section where you can buy us some beers. So basically just donate to the Parenting Podcast cause.
Yes, do that. Definitely do that.
But what I wrote as the description was when you donate to the Parenting Podcast, we can continue to be a free source of therapy for ourselves and for you.
Much cheaper than my therapy bills. That'd be great. Yeah.
Honest to God. So
you're helping in more ways than one.
Just saying. Just saying. And then my kids are happy when I'm not kicking them. No, I'm just kidding. I don't do that.
Let's wrap this up. We've been here. What? How long is this outro? Anyway.
Too many minutes.
Too many.
See you next week, everybody. Bye.
Bye, friends. Later, taters. All I have in my head is like our outro song.
How does this thing work?